It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at something that was teased in the trailer for the finale of Season 1 of The Ones Who Live, which is finally explaining what the PPP card means. Of course, the PPP card is what was left at the site of Heath's disappearance. So that raises a lot of questions of whether we're going to see Heath and whether he is going to be the second returning character after Father Gabriel. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So of course, this is the shot that was in the trailer. We of course see Pearl Thorne in one of the CRM's bases, the Cascades, and there's a whiteboard there, and on the top right, we have something that says PPP Exception. Of course, PPP is directly referencing the PPP card, so that raises a lot of questions whether they're going to explain that or whether this is just an Easter egg. I do want to say something right off the bat. I do think they are going to explain what the PPP card is, maybe not in this episode, but maybe in season 2. But with that said, I also don't think that Heath is going to return. I know that I put Heath on the thumbnail, so you could say that's clickbait of me to do that, and you're absolutely right, but with the amount of Heath questions I've gotten, I think I deserve one clickbait Heath video. I mean, sort of. It's not really clickbait, but sort of. But anyway, back to the topic. So what is PPP Exception? Now we're going to get into the potential meaning of the PPP, but what does exception mean? When I look at that and think about what they're doing, the thing that comes to my mind is that there is certain cases where the CRM takes exception to their A and B rule. Of course, with their A and B rule, if you're an A, they use you as a test subject, and if you're a B, you're basically someone who could enter the CR as a civilian, as a citizen. But based on this particular thing, PPP exception could be saying that the CRM decides to trade or give people away and not use them as part of their A's and B's. Now, the one thing we do need to remember is that the PPP card was left when Heath disappeared. We know at this point that Jadis was trading Heath to the CRM. So, of course, that could only mean that CRM got Heath as one of their A's or B's, possibly a B, but decided to give Heath away to others as part of their PPP exception program. Now, what does PPP mean, or what could it mean? Of course, we did see the PPP card also in the Tales of the Walking Dead episode. And in that episode, we actually saw a character named Davon who practically ended up in Maine and was kidnapped by a group of people who were trying to do something to him. There wasn't anything CRM related, but it was just a bunch of weird people trying to test him or whatever the case was. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It was not a great episode altogether. But what is important is that they did have the PPP card there. And given that he was in Maine, that automatically got me thinking about Maine in the Daryl Dixon spinoff. Of course, in the Daryl Dixon spinoff, Daryl was around Maine when he was captured and sent to France as test subject. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And of course, with the trade route from Maine to France, there were a lot of variants that were being sent to France or brought back from France, one or the other. And this was, of course, connected to the story with Genet's group. So that definitely got me intrigued. I mean, we have Maine that was talked about in the Tales of the Walking Dead episode where we saw the PPP card, and we have Maine, which is where the boat was, where the variants were being transported back and forth to France with Genet's group. So that got me thinking maybe this is some sort of confirmation about the CRM's connections and links to Genet's group. Maybe Genet's group is part of the PPP exception. Now, just to dive deeper into the PPP specifically, maybe each P is the name of a city or community that has connections with the CRM, who they trade with and send their people to be test subjects or whatever the case may be. And of course, PPP could be Paris, and then another P could be maybe a city in Maine that starts with P, and maybe the other P is just another location, another city or community. That could be something that they might be doing, and that could be super intriguing. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier, I don't think they're actually going to explain what PPP means in this episode. There is only one way they could explain it, but it'll be kind of quick and underwhelming. And that is if they explain it through the Echelon Briefing. So maybe in that Echelon Briefing, they'll talk about what PPP is and what the PPP exception is. I just think that's a little underwhelming. So as far as I'm concerned, this is set up for a story that they're going to tell in the second season, which could obviously confirm a second season. And I think if we come out of this last episode of the first season not getting an answer about PPP exception, then it just means that this was just an Easter egg. Or if we know at that point if there's a second season, then it's something that they're setting up for the second season. With all of this said, I don't think Heath is coming back. I mean, if anything, if they do the Echelon Briefing and there are recordings of people being transported or something, we could see Heath that way in like a recording as being one of the people that got traded as part of this PPP exception program. But even that's a little convenient, and it's just fan service. I hope they don't go that direction. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.